Well, I want to thank you all very much.
Well, breaking overnight, former President Donald Trump is now President-elect Trump. Good morning, and thanks so much for joining us on Up with Krim on this Wednesday morning. I'm Channing Curtis.
And I'm Tim Pham. Here at Krim 2, we bring you the most in-depth election coverage all day. We have results pouring in on races impacting our community. First, though, a look at the presidency. This morning, the Associated Press reporting Donald Trump is the second president elected for 2 non-consecutive terms. The first was Grover Cleveland in 1888 and 1892. Overnight, while you were sleeping, Trump surpassed the 270 threshold, sending him back to the White House. So let's take a look at the election results for presidency by state.
So the presidential election results in the inland Northwest were no surprise, as is the case in most years. In Washington state, Kamala Harris coasted to a win with a safe margin. She won all of Washington's 12 electoral votes.
The exact opposite scenario played out in neighboring Idaho. The Associated Press projecting all 4 of the state's electoral votes for Trump right as the polls closed. President-elect Trump and Vice President-elect J.D. Vance addressed a crowd in West Palm Beach, Florida, after securing the swing state of Pennsylvania.
I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve.
And under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. And after the greatest political comeback in American history, we're going to lead the greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
Vice President Kamala Harris opted out of speaking last night. Now, we are expecting to hear from her later on this morning, so be sure to stick with us here on Up with Krim as we bring you the latest on her statement and what she has to say.
Well, another huge win last night for the Republicans, winning back the Senate.
This morning, Krim 2's Brandon T. Jones is tracking the current numbers and even explains the significance of having control of Congress. Good morning, Brandon.
Yeah, good morning, Tim, Channing. Well, it's the first time in 4 years that Republicans have controlled the Senate. Right now, the Associated Press reports they hold 52 of those seats and the Democrats hold 42. 6 seats are still up for grabs. Control of the Senate gives the GOP a major power center in Washington. It gives them a lead role in confirming the next president's cabinet, as well as any Supreme Court justice if there is a vacancy. The majority in the U.S. House remains up for grabs, though. Republicans currently have 198 seats. Democrats sit with 180. 218 seats are needed to control the House. 57 seats are left to fill, meaning it can still go either way. The Associated Press reports Democrats would need to flip 4 seats from Republicans for control. So I'll make sure to keep you updated every hour this morning right here on Up with Krim.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Now, in the meantime, we want to prepare you as you head out the door this morning with a look at your weather.
Meteorologist Thomas Patrick is tracking it all for us. Thomas, this morning I had to break out that ice scraper.
Yeah, same here, Tim. And for some of you, it is not just that, but give yourself another extra minute to get through the fog along I-90 as it is starting to develop and thicken right through our metro corridor. Not just Spokane Valley, as we've been tracking through the first hour of Up with Krim, but now more areas of Spokane and out towards the airport are also seeing those foggy conditions. The Broadway camera started to get a lot worse in the last couple minutes here. That I-90 Evergreen camera also incredibly foggy. The latest observation at Spokane International Airport did drop all the way from 10-mile visibility to 1/2 a mile visibility. So a reduction of 20-fold in terms of the visibility itself. So that is what we're dealing with this morning to go along with the cold temperatures.
Well, if you are heading out the door this morning, this is a live look at I-90 and Freya. As you can see, at 6:05, traffic moving along smoothly. No major traffic concerns to report on at this time. We'll continue keeping an eye out on things and check our various traffic cameras throughout the region and let you know if anything changes.
Let's get back to the election results. Taking a look at some of the races now. Washington state will see a new governor for the first time since 2013. The Associated Press poll called the race, saying Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson leading ahead of former Congressman and King County Sheriff Dave Reichert. Both candidates spoke last night after the initial batch of election results.
As your Attorney General with a fantastic team, we fought for you every single day. We did not pull our punches. And as your governor, I will center you, each and every one of you, Red counties, blue counties, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, you are top of my mind. I'm thinking of you, will advocate for you, will make Washington even a greater state than it is today. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's go get them. Thanks, everybody.
I heard that all across the state as I met with people. If you don't win, I'm leaving. And so my plea tonight is, look, if we do lose, don't leave. We have to stay and fight for our children, for our homes, for our businesses.
In the meantime, Eastern Washington voters are electing their first new representative for the 5th Congressional District in 2 decades. Republican Michael Baumgartner and Democrat Carmela Conroy went head-to-head. Initial results are showing Baumgartner taking a strong lead at this time. But at his viewing party, Baumgartner thanked Eastern Washington already and the crowd that was there, saying he's very pleased to see initial results showing a strong lead over his opponent. Congresswoman Kathy McMorris-Rodgers said she's honored and excited to literally pass the baton to Baumgartner. He then said he has big shoes to fill and thanked McMorris-Rodgers for her 20 years of service. The 5th Congressional District race has not been called at this time, but Baumgartner still says he plans to work very hard every day for all of Eastern Washington.
Well, I want folks to know that if you voted for me, I'm your congressman, and if you didn't vote for me, I'm your congressman. So I work for all of you, and we're going to do everything we can to work every day to be an outstanding representative. And so I got 775,000 bosses out there, and we're looking forward to do the job for them.
Well, we'll be watching closely to make sure he keeps his word. In Congress, he must work across the aisle and put Eastern Washington ahead of party, and we must hold him accountable if he does not.
Ballots are still being counted in Kootenai County. This morning, we are taking a live look and tracking the race for sheriff. It looks like right now they may be taking a break, but they were working all throughout the night, and these cameras are available for anyone to view anytime. Voters had to choose between 4 candidates: incumbent Bob Norris, Justin Nagel, Kyle Woodward, and Dan Wilson. At this hour, Norris is holding a lead over his 3 opponents. He told us it shows voters approve of his work over the last 4 years.
Yeah, I think that, crime is down 16%. We are taking fentanyl out of our streets and out of our schools with record number of seizures. And we've engaged this community like no other sheriff. We have a great record on the water, so we're looking forward to repeating the same and doing a lot more in the next 4 years.
Idaho voters are also deciding on a statewide issue. Prop 1 would eliminate party-based primaries in favor of a top 4 open primary system. Right now, Idaho voters are voting no, which means there will be no change to the current primary and general election voting system. Well, results are still coming in, and a reminder, they are also scrolling there at the bottom of your screen.
So now let's take a look at the Washington statewide race for Public Lands Commissioner. At this hour, it's a close race with Democratic candidate Dave Upthegrove with the lead over Republican Jamie Herrera Butler.
In Idaho, the race for U.S. Representative District 1 has Republican Russ Fulcher with a lead over Democratic opponent Kaylee Peterson.
And now taking a look at the race for Idaho U.S. Representative for District 2, Republican Mike Simpson has a lead over Democratic opponent David Roth. Now taking a look at the things nationally right now, security threats in Georgia counties actually led to evacuations at several polling stations.
Police say once they received the bomb threats, they did evacuate buildings, swept the facilities, and found nothing. So right now, we do know voting continued after that brief delay. The FBI is aware of bomb threats to polling locations in several states, including Georgia, many of which appear to have originated from Russian email domains.
We were prepared for this. We were ready to send officers, and we responded very quickly, and we were able to determine that this threat was a hoax and that it is safe to come and vote.
None of the threats have been determined to be credible so far.
In the meantime, election workers began counting absentee ballots in Milwaukee at 9 a.m. yesterday. An issue involving ballot stickers and the glass door on the machines was flagged, and workers from both the Republican and Democratic Party assisted. Because of this error, 30,000 absentee ballots will now be recounted.
For all of this morning's election coverage, including up-to-date election results, head to our website, KREM.com. You can also watch our election coverage this morning on KREM 2 Plus. If you don't yet have KREM 2 Plus, it is free to download right now on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.
Time is 6:10 as we take another look at our weather forecast, where we're keeping an eye for any fog coverage across the region this morning. Hasn't quite hit downtown Spokane, but I'm noticing quite a few areas along the I-90 corridor, almost specifically, that are starting to get hit with more and more fog, especially more over Spokane Valley as of this morning. Otherwise, that scene doesn't look too bad, but it's really about a mile in the other direction from that camera is where the foggiest weather does lie. Current temperatures in the 20s. It is cold. It is frosty at minimum, but it could be a freezing fog for some of you this morning. Now, as the fog burns off later today, we're still in for a fairly calm and sunny afternoon with high temperatures in the mid-40s. Looking ahead, we're going to be tracking rain chances over this weekend. We'll have the latest on when that is set to arrive coming up.